here. The Parkinson's Foundation hosts weekly education and wellness programs through our PD Health at Home virtual programming. Join us for Mindfulness Mondays, Wellness Wednesdays, and Fitness Fridays. Most of our PD Health at Home programs are recorded and posted on the Parkinson's Foundation's YouTube channel. You can scan the QR code on the screen to connect to our YouTube channel and also find out more and register to attend our live PD Health at Home programs like Fitness Fridays at parkinson.org/pdhealth. Since our founding, the Parkinson's Foundation has funded more than $449 million in groundbreaking research and care. PD Generation, Mapping the Future of Parkinson's Disease, is a global research study that provides genetic testing and genetic counseling at no cost for people diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. By joining PD Generation, you can discover your individual connection to the disease while helping map the future of tomorrow's breakthroughs. Please join us and support advancing research towards a cure. You can learn more at parkinson.org/pdgeneration. And now let's get into our movement for today. I'm thrilled to introduce Corey Emberton, a neurostudio advanced practitioner based in Chicago with a strong focus on Parkinson's disease. Corey provides in-home and virtual sessions offering personalized care to enhance mobility, alleviate symptoms, and improve our quality of life. He's also a dedicated volunteer with the Parkinson's Foundation, serving as the Chicago Movement Day Demo Chair. Known for his individualized approach, Corey empowers clients to understand their body and movement better, helping them gain confidence and control in their daily lives. Corey, I'm so glad that you're here again. Welcome back, and we are ready for some movement. Take us away.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for participating today. So we're going to do a little bit of movement with focus on specific cues. And what I mean by that is understanding body mapping, but get a sense of where our body is in space and time, moving that body, and understanding our environment around us. Couple of things. Just make sure you have your water bottle around. So if you need to hydrate a little bit, do so. We are going to do some exercises with a towel. So I have a hand towel. You can have a bigger towel. If you don't have a towel, that's okay. I'll give you a couple of things that you can focus on without the towel. We are also going to start seated in a chair and do most of it, and then we'll try to work our way up and do some balance stuff out of a chair. So what I want you to do is just take things slow. Most importantly, listen to your body. If you feel any aches or pains, decrease your range of motion, just make things smaller, or go a little bit slower. That's the most important thing, is listening to your body and moving while using these cues. All right. So what we're going to do first is I want everybody just seated in your chair. Now let's just understand the space around us. Okay. So let's just open up our arms and then just open them back and to the sides, just making sure we're not going to hit anything. Now, what I want you to also do is make sure you're seated comfortably into your chair. You can feel that butt connected to that chair. These next few movements, what I'm going to show you are just things to get more awareness to our body and our environment. You can actually do these before you get out of the bed in the morning. You can do these seated anywhere. You can do them standing, but it kind of gets our body going and moving. So the first thing I want you to do is, instead of look at me, look past me or look at the top of your computer, your iPad, or your phone. So we're going to make that like our main target for today. It's just a visual target. And you're just going to look at that main target. Okay. Now we're going to open up what's called our visual field. So what I want everybody to do is to look to one side of the room, find something to look at, and just understand what's there. So right now I see my door, I see a doorknob, I can see the floor, I can see a light switch. Now, gaze your head and eyes to the opposite side of the room. What do you see there? Take note. Do you see objects? Do you see doors? Do you see different colors? Okay, now back to our main target at the computer. Now let's just gaze our eyes and head up to the ceiling. See where the ceiling and the wall meet. Look around. Do you see a window? Now let's gaze our head and eyes down to the floor nice and slowly. Can you see your feet or your shoes? Are your feet or shoes on a rug or a hardwood floor? Now bring your head and eyes back up. So I want everybody to stay seated, but I'm going to get a little closer. So now what I want you to do is we're going to kind of work around the room. So I want you to gaze your head and eyes over to one side of the room. Now we're going to gaze our eyes up to the ceiling, over to the other side of the room, down to the floor. Now let's switch directions. Go back to the side of the room, up to the ceiling, over to the other side, down to the floor, and now bring your eyes and gaze back up towards me and the computer. Like I said, this is a great exercise to do before you get out of bed, especially letting your eyes to adjust to whether lightness or darkness you have in your room. We're going to move on down to our feet. Our feet are the first thing that touch the ground. So we want to give it a little bit of love and care and help us understand these are our feet, these are how to move it. So what I want you to do is take both feet, and you can think like you're almost standing on a beach. And I want you to push your feet down into the ground and then lightening them up, almost like you're making a big footprint into the sand. So push down and take note. Can you feel pressure into your feet? Can you feel your shoes into your feet? And pull away. One more, push down, find that pressure into your feet and relax it. Okay, let's take one side. Let's focus on one foot. Let's act like we're on the beach and we've got a footprint right here. So what I want you to do, this is a very important movement for walking, is you're going to take that heel and lift it up out of your footprint and then lower it back down. So we're already getting a range of motion in our ankle. Pull that heel out of our footprint, back down. We're going to do two more. Pull it out of your footprint, back down. One more. Pull it out of your footprint, back down. Okay, let's find the other footprint. Let's lift that heel out of your footprint and back down. Feel free to go at your own pace. Just focus on peeling that heel away from your footprint and finding it again. One more. Peel it away and find it. So this is a great movement to do before you get out of bed as well, because this is a movement that happens when we walk. We go into that push-off drill. Now let's keep working. Now let's focus on our lungs. I know that sounds kind of weird, but understanding where our lungs are can give us better awareness of where our trunk is, which can help with stability. So find your hands up here on your chest or down here on your ribs. I want you to take a deep breath in and try to expand your ribs or chest into your hands and exhale out. Good. Deep breath in and out. One more. Deep breath in and out. So get a little understanding of where those lungs set inside our chest and ribs. Now let's keep understanding of where our lungs are. And let's focus on now moving our head or tilting our chin down towards our lungs and then away. So we're just taking two body parts and moving one to the other. Take that chin down to your lungs and pull it away. Good. One more. Down to your lungs and pull it away. Now let's add those two. We're going to do your head followed by your lungs. We're going to take our head down to our legs and let our lungs follow with. And then we're going to reverse it and bring both of those body parts up. Again, head and lungs down to your legs. Bring it back up. One more. Head down to your lungs and lungs down to your legs. And bring it back up. Nice. Okay, so What I want you to do is go ahead and grab your hand towel. Take a couple of seconds, and we're going to focus on one hand. So to do this, if you don't have a hand towel, you're just going to use your opposite hand. What we're going to do is stimulate one hand, and we're just going to take the towel and pull it through our hand. Kind of notice if you feel the texture of the towel. Is it soft? Is it rugged? If keep going with this one. If you don't have a towel, I just want you to kind of rub and create some friction in your hand. Good. Do a couple more seconds of there. Our hands are pretty far away from the center of our body, so we're just adding in a little bit of feedback. Okay, now the hand that you're stimulating, hold your towel, or just make a fist and create a little bit of pressure. Sometimes if you're struggling with slowness of movement or you're a little rigid in that arm, we're going to use this technique. So look back at your visual target, whether that was right at the computer, the top of your iPad, and I want you to take that fist or take that hand towel and lift it up past that computer and then bring it back down. So we're just adding a little bit of direction. Lift it up past that computer and bring it back down. One more, lift it up past that computer and back down. Okay, let's stimulate that other hand, whether it's with the towel or with your opposite hand rubbing the palm. Give it a little bit of feedback. We're just letting it know, hey, body, this is your hand and we're going to use it. Good. A few more seconds. All right, now hold that towel or create a fist and add a little bit of pressure and raise it above your computer and then swing it back down. That's it. Raise it above your computer, back down. One more. Raise it above and back down. Good. So we just stimulated a little bit of our body from our eyes all the way down our feet. So some of this stuff we're going to use in our exercising too. So what I want you to do is just place your towel over your lap, or it can just sit behind your chair. We're going to grab it in a few minutes, so just make sure it's close by. This is going to sound a little funky because I'm a movement professional, but what I want you to do is slouch and sink down into your chair. Yeah, just get comfortable, very in the back, almost like, so this is a different posture, right? I'm telling you to slouch and sink down in your chair. But what I want you to do is look at your iPad or your computer, and I want you to bring your body towards it. There you go, which helps with our posture, and then slouch away from it. Good. Using our eyes to help bring our posture up. So bring your body towards your computer, iPad or phone, and away. Good. One more towards it and hold here. Now what I want you to do is slouch and sink to one side of the computer. Now bring yourself back center with your computer. Good. Slouch over to that side. Bring it back up. Slouch over to that side and bring it back up. So again, we're using our eyes to understand where we're at to help with our posture. Now let's slouch to the opposite side and then bring it back up. See if you get real leveled with your computer. Slouch to the side, bring it back up. One more. Slouch to the side and bring it back up. Now, for the next set of exercise, all I really want you to focus on, the main cue, is staying centered with your target. So look at your computer and understand, are you getting further away from it? Are you moving to the left or right of it? Or are you staying centered of your target, of your computer? All right, grab that towel for me. We're going to pull it into our chest. Okay, so continuously working on posture. Now we're looking at our visual target and we're going to stay centered with it as we push our towel towards it and pull it back into our chest. Good. Keep going. Push and pull back. So we are working on some postural muscles, but we're really using our eyes to stay centered around the target, which is probably your computer, iPad, or phone. There you go. Keep staying centered and just move those arms forward and back. We're going to do 3 more, 2 to go. Find your pace though. Last one. All right, stay centered with your target. We're going to make this a little bit harder and add in some coordination. So going back to those peeling your heel out of your footprint. I want you to peel both heels out of your footprint and put them back down. Peel them out of your footprint and back down. And notice when you lift your heels, are you moving away from your visual target? Or are you staying centered? Try 3 more. Peel them away and back. 2 to go. Last one. Good. Let's add the 2 movements together. So it's peeling our heels and pushing that towel out and bring it back in. Start working at your own pace. See if you can get those 2 movements coordinating, starting at the same time. But remember to focus on your visual target. Focus on that computer. Try not to move your whole body away from it as you move those limbs. Good. We're going to go 5 more. Keep focusing on your visual target. Nice posture around that target. Give me 1 more. And relax. Okay, let's bring our towel down to our thighs. And let's stay centered with our target. And let's just swing the towel up. So if you've got any issues with your shoulder, go to a range of motion that you feel comfortable with. So that could be up past your visual target, or it could just be chest height. Work on it, see what feels comfortable with you. So we're going to just do a couple of more of these. Last one. Good. Now we're going to move to our feet, doing 2 different exercises. Now, the ball of your feet and your toes, this is called dorsiflexion. So it's another important thing for walking. I want you to think about bringing your ball of your feet away from your footprint and then putting it back down. Or think about peeling those toes out of your footprint and back down. Now, this movement will be a little bit smaller. And if you need to make adjustments, you can bring your feet and legs out a little bit so you have more room. So do a few more. Peel those toes, the ball of the foot away from the footprint or up into your shoe, whatever you feel good. 1 more. Okay, now let's coordinate those 2 movements. Can we lift our toes and ball of our foot out of our footprint as we raise that towel? And then can we lower them both back down? Keep going. You find the pace that works for you. Just see if you can coordinate both of those movements. Just get them to start at the same time. And notice that your arms are going to travel a little bit more further in distance than those feet. Waking that body up head to toe. See if you can get a couple in. Work on that coordination, both movements starting together. Last one. And relax. I'm going to kind of take a different turn. Instead of counting reps, I'm going to just let you go at your own pace. Listen to your body, understand what it wants. Does it need to stop? Does it need to go? And we'll just work through a time. All right. So now, anybody raise a hand. Has anybody ever done power moves or large amplitude movements? Okay. So why don't we add in our visual target to a power move? Okay. So we're done with a towel. You can just let it go. Completely done with it. So we're going to do a power up. But instead of just going through the motion of forward and back with a reach, we're going to look at our visual target, which is your computer. Now, what I want you to do is reach towards your computer, get as close as you can, and reach away as you move the body. Good. Bring your lungs and your arms towards the computer and bring your lungs and arms away. So we're giving our body some direction towards the computer and away. That's it. Let's go 10 more seconds. find your pace. Do you want to go slower or you want to go a little bit faster? All I want you to do is keep looking at that computer and bring your lungs and your arms towards it and then bring it away. I'm going to count down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it down. Good. Nice work. Just get you a little breath. Breathe in, exhale out. Let's push our feet down into the floor and release just to ground ourselves. Sometimes that's beneficial just to understand, hey, deregulate our bodies. Push down one more time and relax it. So now let's add in a little bit of lung movement. And technically, we're not really moving our lungs within our body, but we know where our lungs are, which help us get a little bit of sense of moving that trunk. So I want you to take one hand, place it down on your thigh. Okay. Take your other hand and place it at the bottom of your rib cage, the top of your chest, anywhere that you can understand where your lungs are, even though you have two. Breathe into your hand and out. Good. Two more. Breathe into your hand and out. Last one. Breathe into your hand and out. Now, what I want you to do is focus on turning your lungs away from the hand that's on your thigh and then turning your lungs back in towards that hand. Good. Turn your lungs away from the hand that's on your leg and turn it back towards it. Turn it away and turn it back towards it. Now, what I want you to do is focus on your lungs, not turning, and I want you to try to step to the side and back in. Now, if you're dealing with a chair that's not letting you move, just get that step to go out. But the goal here is to not let your lungs turn as you move that leg. So we're working on a little bit of stability in our trunk as we move a limb. Okay. Keep practicing at it. If you feel like it's hard, just make adjustments. It's okay. One more. Good. Now, what I want you to do is coordinate our trunk movement with our leg movement. So take your lungs, turn it out and get the step with it, and turn the lungs back in and let the leg go with. The lungs produce the movement, the leg just follows. Now work at it. Turn the lungs and step. Turn the lungs and step. Turn the lungs and step. Keep going, make it as big, as small as you want. Listen to your body, what feels comfortable. Just try to get those two movements to start and stop. Try to get one more in and bring everything back to center and look back at that computer, your visual target. Switch hands. Bring your hand down into your thigh, add a little bit of pressure. Now bring your hand up into your chest or down at that ribs. Give me one big breath. Feel the ribs expand, the lungs expand. Okay, now let's turn just our lungs away from the hand that's on our thigh and back in. Now focus on yourself. Try not to look at me anymore and just see if you can get your lungs to turn away or turn to the left or right. Good. Try a couple of more in there. Now, it may not be a big movement because we're just moving from one little section of our upper body. And now bring it to center. Now keep your lungs facing towards your visual target, your computer, and try to get that step in with that other leg. Working on that trunk stability right here. We need that when we're walking and standing. Good. Do you need to take a breath to get another understanding of where their lungs are? Take a deep breath and keep them pointing towards the computer. That's it. Try for one more and bring it back in. Now let's let our lungs and our trunk produce the movement and let that leg follow this time. If you need to get a little extra scoot up into the front of your chair, do so. All right, start turning those lungs and get that step out. and turn everything back in. Turn it out, turn it back in. Good. Keep going at your own pace. Understand what pace is good for you. Do you need to go a little slower? Do you need to get a little faster? What helps you coordinate those two movements? Coordination is really hard, but we build up to it, adding one piece at a time. Try to get two more in for me. Burn those lungs and let that step follow. And relax. Okay, so we added a little bit of body awareness and trunk stability and trunk movement. Raise of hands. Who has who's done boxing before? Rock steady boxing. Yeah, it's very popular, right? So we're going to work on just doing basic jabs. So if you haven't done boxing before, we just want a couple of punches out in front of our body. Okay. So, but we're going to think about our lungs to help us. So first, I want you to think about your lungs staying pointed towards the computer and just punch. So those lungs aren't rotating here. We're just focused on those arms going forward towards your computer and back. Use your target. We're going to 10 more seconds with these. Okay. Keep those lungs steady. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, now hold your hands and fists into your chest. Now I want you to just start rotating your lungs side to side. Yep. Doesn't have to be big. We're just trying to get those lungs to turn right and left. So adding in that trunk awareness and getting that trunk to move, because actually in boxing, we got to get that trunk to move and rotate. Now, once you get used to those lungs rotating, keep rotating them as you punch left and right. But your primary focus is turning those lungs side to side. Side to side. Good. Keep it going. And we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Break. Ground yourself. Push your feet back into the floor and lift it up. Back into the floor and lift it up. Now let's just reset our whole body. So let's find our whole body. So we're going to tilt. We're going to look down to one knee. Take our eyes and turn our head towards it. And then we're going to tilt our head and our lungs down towards it and bring it back up. Good. Keep looking at that knee and drop your head and lungs towards it, almost like it's just folding over. Now keep going at your own pace, just moving our spine a little bit more. Find what's comfortable for you. Just look at your knee, which is your visual target, and work on folding that head and your lungs down towards it. One more. Good. Now let's bring our head and eyes over to the other knee. Turn our lungs slightly towards it and let the body fold towards that knee and fold away. What's helping you better? Is it the looking at the knee? Is it the head coming down towards it? Is it the lungs tilting towards it? Go for a few more. Find your pace. Tilt those head and lungs down towards it and away. Good. Bring it back to center. All right. Nice work. So we're going to transition to standing. However, if you like to stay seated, please do so, and I will modify this for you. So we're going to work on weight shifting and a little bit of balance work. So right now, if you plan on standing, what I would like you to do is get your chair into position. I'm okay with you if you have it right in front of you. I like to sometimes hold it on to the side. I'm going to keep mine on the side. That way you can actually see my body move a little bit more. Okay. Now, if you're seated, I'm going to show this standing and then I'll show a variation of it seated at it. Okay. So we're just building this on understanding where our body is. Do you remember me telling you what's the first thing that hits the ground that's going to try to respond to our standing and weight shifting? It's the bottom of our feet. Okay. So what I want you to do is pick one foot. That's going to be the side that we're going to be working on. And what I want you to do is just push that foot down into the ground and relax it. Or just make it as heavy as you can. Find that connection of your foot into the floor and then just make it easier. Find that connection. Okay. Now just kind of give that foot a little bit of a wiggle. You can go side to side. You can push those toes down into the ground. You can push that heel or rock around into that foot. So we're just bringing in a little sensation of where that foot is. And that's a big thing with that pressure. All right. So with balance, and if you're seated, you're just going to do the same thing, pushing that foot down into the floor while you're in your chair. Okay. Now with balance, we've got to move parts of our body over our foot. So one, understand where your foot is. Now what I want you to do, let's go back to our lungs. Okay. And what I want you to do is think about shifting your lungs over that one foot and try to stack it over the inside of that foot and then shift away from it. Now, if you're seated, you're going to come here, find that foot, and we're just going to shift over to that foot and come back in. All right. So again, find your lungs, take a deep breath. Now shift the lungs over your foot and back in. Now keep working on it. Shift the lungs over your foot, back in. Find your pace, but find your focus. Now I want you to keep going, but you're going to lift that opposite heel. Remember how we pulled it out of our footprint? That way it doesn't just stay glued to the floor. So lungs shift over your foot as you go into that heel lift. Now keep working on your standing. And if you're seated, same thing. Shift those lungs over and peel that heel away. Shift the lungs over and peel the heel away. And let's do a few more. Find that center of your lungs over your foot. Okay, and relax. Now we're going to do the same side. So instead of understanding where our trunk is or our lungs are, what I want you to do is look at your visual target. Now make sure you don't look at me because I'm going to be moving. I want you to look at something that's not moving, that top of that computer or something past that computer. Now all I want you to do, same side, is shift to the side of what you're looking at and come back to center with it. So use your visual system to move your body. Shift to the side of what you're looking at and bring it back in. Shift it to the side, bring it back in. Now see if you can start bringing that opposite heel away from the floor. So as you shift to the side of your visual target, you're lifting that heel out of its footprint. Good. Keep working at that. And if you're seated, same thing. Shift to the side of your visual target and pull away from that floor. Stacking our body over to one side. Let's go a couple more seconds. Try to get one more in. And good. Okay, let's just switch sides. Okay, so let's go back to our lungs. But we need to make sure we find that opposite foot. So dig your toes into the ground, pull your toes away, push your outside of your inside of your foot, push your heel. Keep working on finding that foot. I'm just sitting down so I can show people. So just kind of get a wiggle of where and find that foot on the floor. Find your lungs, find chest, ribs, take a deep breath. Now focus on shifting the lungs over to the opposite foot that you just now started on. So we're trying to see, does a visual cue work for you, or does your trunk and lungs cue help you? Or is it really finding that foot helping you? Now, if you haven't done so already, get that opposite heel lift. Good. Stack that body over, lungs over to your foot, and lift the opposite heel. Try to get two more in. Last one. Okay. Now, no more lungs. Forget about that. Let's use our visual field and our eyes. So find your target and shift to the side of it and come back to center of it. Good. Keep practicing. Once you're ready, you feel like that shift is working for you, I want you to start peeling that opposite heel away from the floor and back on. Good. So now just keep using that visual field, that visual target, and shifting to the side of it. One more. And relax. Okay. Now we're going to add in a little bit of a step. So we're just going to pick one side. And what I want you to think of for this one, what I want you to use is one or two cues. Which one helped you out? Was it the lungs and moving that? Was it the eyes and moving around your target? Okay. We're going to pick one side. Let me demonstrate for you both standing and seated. So pick which one works for you. You're just going to step, find that footprint, and move into it and come back. Now, is it your lungs coming over your footprint? Or is your eyes and stepping and shifting to one side? Now keep practicing. If you're seated, same thing. Step, bring the lungs over, or look at something, step to the side of it, and bring the rest of the body over. Keep practicing. Use your lungs or your visual field with that step. We're going to just do a couple of more. Find that footprint as you step to understand where the ground is and relax. Okay, let's just switch. I just want you to go the opposite direction. Use your eyes or your lungs. Which one of those two cues work for you? Take that step and find your footprint. Get an understanding where that footprint is. Use your target, like you're stepping to the side of it, or find where that trunk and lungs are and stack it over that footprint. You're seated, same thing. Just showing you a little demonstration. Find your footprint, bring your lungs over to it, or look at your target and step and shift to the side of it. Try to do a few more. One more if you can. And relax. Okay, I want you to come back down into your chair. Take your time. Use your eyes if you need to. Use your trunk if you need to move around and find your chair. Now, all I want you to do here is let's find our feet. Find our feet into the ground. Give a little bit of a push and relax it. A little bit of a push and relax. One more. A little bit of a push and relax. See if you can do, well, see if you can do a couple more. You know, some people are still seated, trying to sit. Now find your hands. Push your hands down into your thigh and relax. Now, if you ever get nervous, dizzy, this is a good thing to actually help you is just to ground yourself, obviously, back down to the ground. Hands into the thighs and release. Hands into the thighs and release. So let's go back. I want you to think about one thing that might have resonated with you. That could have been your footprint. That could have been moving around a target. That could have been understanding your lungs and how to move your trunk. But is there something today that helped you move better that you can incorporate into your daily routine? Or was there something, a cue that was a little challenging and we may need to add a different cue to work on? The beauty about things is that these cues are helpful, but these cues work differently for everybody. What I mean, this one certain cue may not work for this person, but it works very well for the other person. So it's becoming more aware of your body, understanding what works for you, and incorporate that into movement. Like we incorporated into boxing, we incorporated into spinal movement and balance, as well as, power ups, big, large amplitude movements. So lastly, nice work, everybody. I'm very happy that you are here to participate today. And I was wondering, did anybody have a certain cue that worked for them that they would care to share? Oh, I don't know if, and I don't know if you'd have to unmute your, Sue, did you, I
Yes,
guess
you
every,
can write in the
oh,
chat. You can write in the chat, Sue.
oh, right in the
That
chat
works
for
well for
me.
you. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
And that's okay. But yeah, moving side to side. Yeah, with your visual target, that really helps because what you see is your target, and that movement is helping you understand where to move in space. And you can use that anytime you're working on taking steps or shifting your weight. It's a big one for weight shifting. If you ever feel like you're getting stuck, look at a target and instead about thinking about a step, just start shifting side to side of that target. And then you can start moving towards that target. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Sue is the wife, Clincy is the patient. Okay. Clint, my apologies. Did you find something that worked for you today, Clincy? Oh, Donna said yes, the lungs over your feet, right, Donna? Yeah, so there's a lot of body parts that we got to coordinate together. So moving the lungs, which are our trunk, over that, what we feel in our foot can really help. Gail said, focusing on the target, I find it helped me a lot, especially to keep my posture straight. Yeah, wasn't it weird that I told you to sink down into your chair and slouch? But then if we come back and find our visual target, it'll tell us, oh, I am slouching. So let me work on my posture by just using my eyes. Moving from side to side really helps. Great. Awesome. Well, thank you all again. My information is out there, so if you need me, give me a ring, look me up. Be happy to help.
Thank you so much, Corey, for your guidance and motivation. You can stay connected with Corey. His information's on the screen here, and you can check out the Parkinson's Foundation's YouTube channel to enjoy more movement with Corey. Kieran, I see you snapping a photo. I'll pause. You got it. Awesome. And I'm so grateful for the way all of you commit to your health and your well-being just by showing up, just by being right here at this time, at this hour, with the intention of moving your body. So, really want to celebrate that with you. You are why this program is possible. So, thank you for continuing to show up. Be sure to get your copy of the Parkinson's exercise recommendations at parkinson.org. And if you have any questions or would like to access our free resources, please reach out to our helpline by calling 1-800-4PD-INFO or emailing us at helpline@parkinson.org. We thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.
Bye.